Christmas brought so much joy. Couldn't wait for the presents and laughter. I couldn't sleep late at night, looking for Santa with lights. Those are the memories I still remember. Then I became a man, lost sight of who I am, but right in front of me was the answer. 'Cause on Christmas I feel joy, and I turn back to a boy. The answer is to stay young forever. This is not a Christmas, this is not a Christmas song, this is not a Christmas, this is not a Christmas song, this is not a Christmas, this is not a Christmas song, this is not a Christmas, this is not a Christmas song.
Hello, Star Wars fans. Hey, you know there's just 308 days until Christmas 2026. Wow. 308. Hey, I changed my microphone setup. Does it sound okay? Am I all right? Am I in a tin can? Am I far away? Does it sound all right? You guys let me know. We got some stuff to talk about today. And it's not a Mando-Grogu spoiler song. I think it is, Matt. I've got some tea. I know some things. Oh, thanks, Matt. I appreciate it. I know some things, and then I watched the trailer. I talked to our supporters Wednesday, and I was thinking about things, and I watched the trailer. I watched all kinds of breakdown videos, but you know what? I don't think anybody else has figured it out. I think I figured it out. I've got some things to share with you. It's going to be great. I'm looking forward to sharing with you guys. I want to start today though by going into this gingerbread. Let me get this started so I can share with you guys the Gingerbread AT-AT. I've been working on it forever. It took forever to get it hooked up, and then I went to, put together, and then I did this light my bricks. And the light my bricks thing, you have to basically take it apart, wire the lights in there, put it back together, and it was a pain, right? It was a huge pain. And Peanut, can you guys hear Peanut over there whistling? So it took last week when I was trying to put it together, it kept falling apart as I kept trying to, wire it, and I kept trying to get it working. It kept falling apart. Well, I closed out the stream, and after the stream, I finished putting it together. I'm not going to say I have the wires tucked as well as they could, but they're as good as I can get them without just giving up. So I want to share this with you. I tell you what, Jim, it was super frustrating. So I'm going to switch over here to the toy close up, and you guys see this is the Gingerbread AT-AT set, and I've got it sitting right here, and I'm going to turn on my camera for my phone so you guys can see it close up. So here we go. You see, there's the Gingerbread AT-AT. We've got Darth Vader sitting up there in the cockpit, and you've got the inside situation there. We got it all put back together, and I'm just going to plug it in. You just take this plug. It's just a regular USB, and you can plug it in. So let me set this here. Plug this in there, and boy, oh boy, look at that. We've got flashing lights. Woo! Look at that. Darth Vader's got his lightsaber. It's lit. Right? That looks far better. All lit up there. There's Darth Vader. You can see the lights on the other side. And then we can dive into it here. Ooh. Yeah. we can dive in, and you can see close up on the inside. The lights in there. You can see the fireplace. The lights by the fireplace there are all lit up. Yeah. So we've got it. We've got it completely lit. You can, of course, this is built so this opens and closes, right? So we can look inside, lift that up, and we can fully see inside. So I'm happy with how it turned out. You can see like there's a wire right here, not very well hidden. But you know what? I'm happy. I like it. I like it. It's all lit up. Nice. So there you go. There's the gingerbread AT-AT. I saw your comment. So that's fantastic. It was an interesting experience. Let me just put it that way. It nearly broke me. It really nearly broke me. I so for the Like My Bricks group, there's several different projects or folks selling these miniature LEDs with kits to light Legos. What I don't like about this is that Peanut has been very loud. What I don't like about it is the taking apart bit, right? So I think it looks good at the end of the day, right? At the end of the day, um, I'm happy, right? I'm happy. It's lit up. It looks fantastic, and I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty happy with it. Vader's Lair. Hello. Oh, good to see you, my friend. Been a long time since we've seen you here in the chat. Yeah. All right. So we've got this trailer to break down, and I'm telling you guys, I think I've figured it out. I think I've figured the plot of the movie. I think I know what's happening. I know that I know how it ends. I know that I know how it ends. There's no question about that. I can assure you, I know how it ends. And I know bits and bobs in between. So I will wait and I'll put up the spoiler thing. Well, I'll tell you what, if you don't want spoilers, I'll try to avoid it and I'll come back to it at the end. But I'm not going to guarantee, based on your comments, based on the discussion, I may say something spoilery. No guarantees, right? So if you are 100% don't want to know anything, then it might be dangerous for you to hang out here. I will do my best, right? I'll do my best not to spoil it. So let's get into the screen share here. I've got the trailer ready. And you guys, if you've been around the channel, you know that when I do these breakdowns, no, don't want that. Don't want that. I want this theater mode. There we go. I want it this way. I put this in 0.25 speed. I turn the closed captioning on, and I talk about the scene as they come. So we're going to jump in, and I'm going to go ahead and set the speed down here. Right, set the playback speed down to 0.25, and then here we go, 0.25. Then it's muted. We're going to start here with the Apocalypse Now scene, right? And I think people have already covered this. It was in TFA. Right? This has happened. We've seen this kind of opening before. Very Star Warsy. We get into you see the astromech droid approaching the ship that's landed, and here we go. We got Din Djarin starting up the Razor Crest. I'm going to stop this in just 1 second. You see it starting up, fits and it sputters, and then it shuts down. And he tells Grogu, nope, not have that. You need to sit down. All right. So I think this happens. This might be, well, again, without getting, well, okay. Yeah, it's not R2. Not R2, right? We want all the spoilers, right? Okay. I'm ready to kind of get into spoilers right away. So I'm going to tell you right now. Spoilers ahead. If you don't want spoilers, then thanks for showing up. Please leave a like. Come back and visit another day. But we're going to get into full-blown spoilers right now. So you've been warned. Here we go. Right? Here we go. I think this is the end of the movie. I think this is maybe the last shot of the movie, or close to it. They've completed the mission. They're going back home. They're getting in the Razor Crest. It now belongs to Din Djarin, and they're gonna. Oh, they're going to go home. Now we believe the homestead has been completely destroyed. I know that they attacked the homestead on Navarro, and I believe he still calls Navarro home. But I think this is the end of the movie. At one point, he is given the Razor Crest as payment for a job. That's how he comes to it. And this is where Sigourney Weaver's character is in charge of the assets. And she tells him, you do this, the Razor Crest is yours. He does the job, the Razor Crest is his. I think this is the end of the movie. They're getting ready to go home. That's my thought. We'll let this play a little bit more. Don't touch the buttons, right? Or possibly this is the first time to get in the new Razor Crest, and they're getting ready to go on the mission after he's been lent the Razor Crest, one or the other, right? It's a company car situation. Kind of is. And you see him leaving off from a Delphi base and leaving. This might be on the way towards the mission. He hasn't been paid for it yet. We'll come back to that in just a little bit. Yeah, Embo is going to definitely blow up the home. Now, we've got these scenes here on Nalhutta and what's the other planet there? Nalhutta and Nalhutta's planet, moon. I believe this is when they're on the mission. I'll tell you how I think the movie starts and why this whole thing is even happening. I believe the movie starts with Din and Grogu doing missions for Nar Shaddaa. Thank you for that. Nar Shaddaa. Vader's lair. I think it's going to open with them doing missions for the New Republic. They're capturing bad guys. They're bringing them back. They're doing their thing. They're out. He's training Grogu. We even see in the one scene where he tells him in the other trailer that came earlier, you got to put the armor on tight, but not too tight. And then they attack the AT-ATs on the snow planet. I believe that's going to be very, very, very early in the movie that we see that. Maybe opening in the movie where they're doing that, and he's putting his armor on, he's getting him ready, teaching him. We're going to see that Din is teaching Grogu. And we see a scene coming up here where, and let's just let this play. Yeah, Nar Shaddaa and Nalhutta. And I believe this is the middle part of the movie where Din is going to he's going to go to that like gladiator arena. He's going to see the Hutt twins. He's going to see Rod of the Hutt, all of that. And the chessboard monsters. I think this is in the middle-ish kind of part of the movie. And he's looking for information. And this is Martin Scorsese's character coming up here. And it won't have, he's taking the pup for a walk. Won't have my help remembering stuff for a minute. Okay. Thanks, Dale. Says, I'm looking for a hut. And he says, nope, not going to do that. Right? Not helping. There we go. Now you see it. I know. I'm going to get back to it. Yeah, I will. Calm down. Right? There you go. Yeah. So we see here this Martin Scorsese's character voice over this character. It's the pilot from Solo. It's the same species. All of that. You guys have seen all the breakdowns. You know all the things. I'm telling you stuff you don't know. I think this is towards the middle, and we get that. And let this play just a little bit more. He slams the door shut because they're on Nal Hutta, Nar Shaddaa. Right. This is the Hutt base. This is where they live. And this is the first time Din and Grogu are going to the twins. Twins are like, "What do you need?" And he's not messing around at this point. Here we go. This is where I want to stop. This point, he's not messing around with Rada when he talks to him the first time. When we get to this scene, I think this is the early on part where we see the AT-ATs, and we know that Din attacks the AT-ATs, blows them up, knocks them off the cliff. All of that stuff happened. I think the Shadow Council, the long live the Empire, right? These folks are getting sick and tired of Din Djarin coming in and ruining their fun. Din Djarin's out capturing people. He's messing with their affairs. They're none too happy at all. And this is why the Shadow Council hires Imbo to take him out. I'm like, dude, the guy's messing with our revenue streams. He's messing with our plans. We don't like him. We got to get somebody to take him out. Who can we hire to take him out? And the Shadow Council hires Imbo to do it. I think that's the beginning part. And where I was off for a long time, and I think a lot of people were off for a long time, is the thought that Rada the Hutt is the MacGuffin of the movie. The Empire's trying to get him, or the New Republic's trying to get him. The First Order folks, the remnants of the Empire trying to get him. I don't know that that's necessarily the case. I think they're sick and tired of Din Djarin messing with them. They hire Imbo to take him out. The rest of it is Din going to get these targets that they're after. Along the way, he runs into Rada. Rada then goes along and is involved with Din trying to get these guys. None too happy are the twins. Right? So I think that's how we start. We're going to start with Din taking out folks. These guys saying, we don't like it. What are we going to do about it? Let's hire Imbo. Right? So here we go. This is the other part. Din is telling, this is saying, where do you think the Shadow Council is? I think the Shadow Council is on Hoth, most likely. Doesn't have to be Hoth, could be Hoth, probably Hoth. Could be something else, right? So, Din Djarin is telling Sigourney Weaver's character, you give us the guys to take out, we'll take them out, right? So this is the playing cards. These playing cards are like, they've got a face of a bad guy on them, right? A name of a bad guy. This could be early on in the movie, like right at the beginning, where he's like, hey, you give us jobs, we'll do them. Give us a job, we'll go do it. And she says, oh, here you go. You can use this Razor Crest to carbon freeze these folks and bring them back. And Dan says, cool deal. We'll do it. And he starts taking people out. This is when the Shadow Council say, we don't like it. And along the course of the way, he's taking out more and more of them. He runs into Rada. They hire Imbo. And we've got all this stuff, right? We got all this stuff happening. So this is when Din says, hey, we'll take out all the bad guys in your deck. Give me the whole deck. This goes along with what he told the client earlier. Give me all of them. He's like, hey, I got to take care of the other people. I am convinced this is the end of the movie. Right here. You see Grogu with the Mudhorn like shield on his chest. and he's given a salute to Sigourney Weaver. I think this is some funny business. I think that where you see this cut, we'll take out all of them for you. And where we see, right, this part here, we'll take out all of them. Right? And then this scene, I think they're playing funny. I don't think they go together. And if they do go together, it's at the end when he's already completed the mission. He says, "Give me more," right? The way the movie ends, and this is the big spoiler for you. The way the movie ends, Rada comes back with Zeb, Din, and Grogu, right? They all come back. Rada agrees to join the New Republic, and off he goes with Zeb to join. And they say, "Hey, why don't you join too?" And he goes, "Nope, we're good." That could be when he says, "Hey, well, you give us the cards, we'll take them out for you. I don't need to be part of the New Republic to do it. You just tell me the job, and I'll go do it." So it could be that, right? I know the movie ends that way. And this scene is either spliced from the beginning when he's taking jobs, or this is the end when he says, "Hey, give us the jobs, we'll go do them. I'm not joining New Republic. I'm an independent contractor." And he leaves. That's how it ends. This is the end of the movie. I am convinced this is the end of the movie because we see Grogu with the shield, and they're headed out. Right? He gives a salute to Sigourney's character, says, "Peace out, we're going home," and that's how it ends. I mean, I'm telling you, that's how it ends. And then we get the scene. I think this is towards the beginning, back on the Hoth like world, right? And here he's fighting. We saw the scene within the AT-AT and the AT-AT, right? And got that guy. Nope, not having it from you, buddy. Back on. Here we go. Back on. Oh shoot! I just said it a little bit ago. The planet where Sigourney and all them are. Right? We're back there, and she says it's not about revenge, and it's about preventing another war. Here we're back on the snow planet, the beginning again, right? And then, hold on, I want to get to a couple. Adelphi base. That's it, Anthony. Thanks, Adelphi. Yeah, we're back on presumably Hoth. Let's call it Hoth until we know it's something else. It may not be Hoth, but we'll just call it that. All right, we're back on Nalhutta or Nar Shaddaa, whatever that this is. I think this is towards the middle part of the movie, maybe the beginning of the second act, something like that. Just so you know, Imbo doesn't show up until halfway or later through the second act. Imbo is not in the first act at all. Imbo shows up later. So here we see him here. Yeah, it's either Hoth or what used to be Ilum, or it could be the spider, ice spider planet from Mando-Grogu as well. I don't know. So here we go into hyperspace. Could be the end of the movie. It's towards, or it's on the way. So here we go. Imbo showing up. This is Navarro. This is their homestead. Imbo is going to take out the homestead because the Shadow Council hires him to take out Din and Grogu. They're tired of him messing with their ways. They don't want him involved, and they say, "Hey, we got to hire a bounty hunter to take this guy out. We're tired of it." Second half through the second part, or more through the second act, this shows up. Right. So, yeah, Imbo. Now, for those of you that don't know Imbo, it comes from the Clone Wars animated series. It's one of Dave Filoni's favorite characters. Dave Filoni, now co-president of Lucasfilm. Dave Filoni voiced this bounty hunter. his favorite. In fact, there are plenty of Star Wars fans who watch the Clone Wars who think Imbo is their favorite bounty hunter. They're wrong, because the best bounty hunter is Cat Bane. Cat Bane, but Imbo, he's all right. But here's Imbo. Now they've torn Din's helmet off. This is again this is interesting because you can see the person taking off this is probably a droid, one of those big droids that you can see the staff right there. A super droid, whatever, takes his helmet off, and he's kneeling before the Hutt twins. I think that's late in the movie. I think that's very late in the movie. In fact, we cut back to Imbo trying to find Din and Grogu. And there's Grogu out in the rain. He sees the guy coming. There's the Hutt twins. They're saying, hey, we're going to take you out, and then it'll be his turn. We're going to take the kid out too. You have got to quit messing with the Empire. And these Hutt twins are more cooperative with the Empire. So when the Empire puts out the bounty on Din Djarin, right? The Empire takes out the bounty on Din Djarin. They hire Imbo. The Hutt twins are like, hey, we've seen that guy before. Next time he comes in, we're going to take him. So he comes back, and this is when he takes him. And we saw in the other trailer where he's fighting the big droids outside of where these Hutt twins are. Right? So he's fighting them, comes in, they take his helmet off. He's here. The question is, and I should have put this in the, let me see if I can pull it up. I'm gonna end the other poll. I'm gonna put another one up here. So let's see, what's the poll at this point? It says 64% are hyped for this movie. 22% are optimistic, looking pretty good. 14% no change. Look, either you're positive or whatever. The trailer didn't affect your excitement level for this movie. I'm going to put on another poll after the movie. So let's see. Start a poll. After the movie, will Din Djarin still wear his helmet all the time? Yes or no? Yes or no? There you go. There's the poll. You think he's going to keep wearing the helmet all the time? We know he gets taken off forcibly. He could say, look, it's forcibly. I have never taken my helmet off, by my own volition. I'm still part of the cult, right? Not sure. Or he says, you know what? I pledged my allegiance to Lady Katan, Bo-Katan. You remember from season 3, he goes to Bo-Katan towards the very end, and he says, I pledged my allegiance to you. You're my guy. I'm going to follow you wherever you go. I'm going to do what you say, right? You're my boss. You're the person. You're the one. I'm going to follow you. I will protect you, right? And we know Bo-Katan, she wears the helmet when she feels like it, right? When it's necessary. He went through the whole redemption arc to get his helmet on because he was still part of the clan. Once he finished that and he's ruminating on it all, he's been, rebaptized into the clan. He says, I don't think I necessarily need to wear this helmet anymore. I think that's how it's going to go. But anyway, there you go. He's giving the stink eye to the twins, and it's fixing to break loose. We're going to have a fight. So May 22nd, it's coming right up. We're today, February 20th. We're just over 90 days out. Here we've got Grogu putting on the armor, right? Here he's putting on his mudhorn and strapping up. So that's again why I think that happens after the beginning. The beginning part when he's on the Hoth planet. I'm convinced that's at the beginning of the movie. And Din's teaching him you got to put it on. It's got to be tight. It can't be too loose. You got to get all this. Here we see Grogu putting his armor on himself, strapping that on. Right there you go. Yeah. Let me back up. You guys have been saying stuff. I want to keep up with the chat. Author, what you said? Okay, we said that. Would Scipio be too obvious of a planet? KG asked. Scipio. I don't think it's too obvious. Hoth is the most obvious, I think. And I stopped here at this scene. I'm going to ask you, what planet is this? Right here. What planet are we on? Look at this. We've got Anzellans, we've got Grogu, and we've got sand and rocks. What planet? What planet? Could be Navarro. Let's see. I lost my internet again. Oh no. Maldo-Crease is the ice planet. Could be, Anthony. Maldo-Crease. Not the first time I've heard that. It could be Iriadu, the Malthian Divide. It could be Barton 4. Yeah, that could be a lot of things. Yeah, that's I'm getting caught up. That was Imbo. Imbo, the bounty hunter. And they live very long lives, right? So yeah. Seeing one of the huts hold his helmet shows their scale. They're large. Huts are very large. Was the smoke behind the kid? When we see Imbo walking towards him, bye-bye Mando Navarro house. Yeah, that thing's gone. They'll have to build new when they get back or, fix it up. Got some ventilation that wasn't previously there. I think you keep it on, but be a bit looser with the rules when the helmet comes off from time to time. Very good, Nick. I can go with that. KG says, yep, I'll go with that too. Depends if we only see him in comics after this, the helmet's coming on and off. Jim, I think we're going to see him more than the comics. I'm convinced we're going to see more Din Djarin. Vader's lair. I've heard Santa say could be the end like 5 times. I hope not, but also Pedro is paid so much not to show his face eventually. Yeah, I'm telling you, he lives. Din Djarin lives. At the end of the movie, he declines the invitation to join the New Republic. I'll do your jobs. Thanks for the Razor Crest. Peace out. And you see Grogu like peace out, right? Same thing. Yeah, any of these places. Is this Navarro? You guys are saying Navarro. It's Navarro. I think it's Navarro. Yeah, the planet on screen now, Navarro, outside the city. Yeah, it could be Navarro. Yeah, Din ain't dying yet. Yeah, I don't care what Mike, with a guy who loves Star Wars, I don't care what he says. And I've heard Meg speculate about it a couple times. It's not happening. He ain't dead. I know the end of the movie. Like I'm 100% sure the end of the movie. Like there's zero doubt. None. Zero. I know. This isn't like, dude, bro told me. I know the end of the movie. You got to trust me. You got to trust me on this. I know the end of the movie. He ain't dead. So it's the way it is. I wonder if the Anzellans helped the kid escape. Could be. We see Grogu here. He's got the chest plate on, and he's going with the Anzellans. It could be Navarro. It very well could be Navarro. We've seen the sand stuff before on Navarro when they went and found that other base. So very, very well could be. We know that the Anzellans are on Navarro, and this would be shortly after Imbo attacks the homestead, and Din Djarin and Din Grogu get separated. We saw some of the scenes in like the tunnels and things. We know those tunnels are also on Navarro. I think that whole sequence happens on Navarro. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, Mando lives. They wouldn't traumatize the children by going to see the movie and killing off one of the leads. That's true. That's absolutely true, Matt. So, yeah, this could be Navarro. It could very well be Navarro, most likely. And then the next question: where is this? We see this jungle type planet. Grogu's got his Mudhorn shield on, and he's coming through the with a big gnarly stick, very reminiscent of the cane that Yoda used to carry around. Very, very similar to the cane that Yoda used to carry around. I don't think he's on Dagobah. I think he just found a stick and he's using it. I don't think that is case. So I think this is Nar Shaddaa. Right? I'm pretty sure this is Nar Shaddaa. This quote, "The kid will live centuries beyond me." This is what people are clinging on to. He's going to be dead. Well, he'll be dead eventually. Not now. It'll be 30 years from now before Din Djarin's in need of trouble. Trust me. He's going to be around. But Grogu's going to live another 600 years, 700, 800 years. This is also probably Nar Shaddaa. Probably Nar Shaddaa. We talked about it in our supporter meeting this week. It's the one that is most probable. We know they're going to be on Nal Hutta and Nar Shaddaa, a very jungly type planet. This is very likely Nar Shaddaa, and Grogu is coming in tune with the Force. He's been trained. He's spent decades at the temple training, and he is not new to studying, communing with the Force. He's not new to it at all. Yeah, he spent a little bit of time with Luke Skywalker. Not very much. That was a very short time period he spent with Luke Skywalker. Weeks, maybe less. He didn't spend very long with Luke at all, and it helped bring him out of his PTSD to a degree. But this is probably Nar Shaddaa. This is probably that, and he's communing with the Force. Is he together with Din Djarin at this point or not? Hard to say. This might be where they're meeting up. They might be separated. Din might be out on a reconnaissance thing and says, "Hey, you stay here. I'll be back," kind of thing. So there you go. I'm not going to be around to protect him all the time. Now we see Grogu in the water, and then you see this arm come in. Before, I was convinced that this was on Navarro when the attack on Navarro happens and Grogu goes into the water, into the frog pond, and then Din picks him up. This scene tells me it's not going to be that, because you see as he comes out of the water here, he's got the Mudhorn shield on. There's Din, and this is jungle around them. So I think this is Nar Shaddaa, and this is they're together here, right? So it very well could be they're together. He sets him down and says, "Hey, hang out here. I'll be back." Here's where he meets up with Stinky. Oh shoot, what's his name? Rod of the Hutt. Right, this is Rod of the Hutt in the gladiator arena. I think this is early second act. Early second act that this is going to happen, and then in this he fights with Rada, and I think this is why he earns Rada's respect. He earns Rada's respect because he stood his own. Like, "Oh, you're a real fighter. I'll hang out with you." And he helps Din from there on. Here we see this guy here. He's in a rocking chair. He's talking to Grogu. This is a foresty world. It kind of from this angle looks a little bit like Endor. I don't think it's Endor. I think here we're Nar Shaddaa again. And this this guy here is some sort of force being. In fact, I got a leak sent to me a week or so ago that asked me if it was true, and I said, I don't think it's true. After seeing the trailer, I think it is true. The leak was sent to me, and they said, Santa, can you verify the information in this leak? Some of it, I said, I could. Other part, I'm like, I'm not so sure. This guy, I think, is the force sensitive that was in that leak that was sent to me. So I'm pretty sure that's this guy. And he is giving Grogu a little taste of wisdom. A little taste of wisdom, right? Going to hit 10 million views during the stream. Yeah, it's 9,996,778. We're just, 3,200 views away from hitting 10 million. We get done, we'll see what it is. So hey, are you scared? Sort of like the Yoda telling Luke Skywalker, "Are you scared? You should be. You should be." Yeah. The guy is also on Nal Hutta. Yeah, I think so too. I think this is Nar Shaddaa and Nal Hutta. These two, they're between the two. You see Grogu sitting there with his Mudhorn shield on, and he's getting a little bit, you should be, a little bit of advice from the elderly, force-sensitive dude. I think that's what's going on there. The guy isn't a Jedi, right? He's not part of the Jedi Order, never was, but he's a force-sensitive with, who's lived hundreds of years. He's very wise in his elderly years. You guys have seen this. This is definitely Nar Shaddaa, I think it is, where the giant snake creature is. Pretty cool. This is pretty good. There's Grogu looking up at the dude. Hey, there's Zeb. We saw this before. Zeb Aurelius. He's coming through. Again, for those of you who don't know who Zeb is, he's part of the Ghost crew from Rebels, and sort of the last of his kind. And he goes back to his planet at the end of Rebels, and we don't know what happens after that. Here we see Zeb back. He's a big hero of the animated series, and here he's back. Grogu's using the Force. Boom. Knocked. This is just like the scene in Rise of Skywalker when they fly now. Yeah, that is. Look, I'm not saying this is there. This could very well be on Navarro, but this is a scene straight out of Rise of Skywalker. It's the same. Pasana. Yeah, it's the same as what we saw them do on Pasana. I'm not saying it is Pasana. It could be Pasana, but also it's probably Navarro. But this scene, look, they're going to fly now. They're going to get flung. That's a different kind of flying, but they're going to fly. These especially this dude. This dude right here, in the back, right there, that guy. He's going to be flying here in 1 second. Yeah, this could be Navarro during the escape, or it could be on Pasana. We don't know. There's Zeb. Hey, I think Zeb looks pretty incredible. I think the effects are incredible. He looks great. There's Mando outside of the Hutt twins. This is when he's fighting and beating them up. He still has his helmet here. Question is, does he get captured right after that? He has a big attack and then he gets captured. This is the Hutt worlds again. And I want you to pay attention, because in this scene, as the fire's coming across, you're going to see Imbo right here. Right? Here he comes. Imbo is like right behind my head. You can't see him right now, right? He's right back here behind my head. But watch. Okay, there's Imbo right here. I'm going to back it up again. Just as he comes on screen. Let's see if I can capture faster. There's Imbo right there. See him? He's right here, right beside me. There's Imbo right there. And this flame comes around. Hey, I saw Matt Tween here. Good to see you. Oh, good to see you, Matt. Thanks for stopping in. The fly now chase is on a Delphi base. Maybe. I think more likely Navarro during the escape scene when he's with the Anzellans and they're getting away. They're being chased, and I think that's when he's going to take them out. Alberto, good to see you, Alberto. Thanks for being here. So yeah, we see Imbo right there, and this big blast happens, and Imbo kind of gets away. Right? He kind of right here. You can see he's definitely right here in the middle of this blast. But he's sort of at the radius, the outer edge of the blast. I think he's going to survive this blast. I cannot believe that this blast is what takes out Imbo and he dies. I don't think Imbo's going to die. But maybe he does. But this blast right here, this is Imbo right in the middle. He's got to survive this. All right. Boom. He goes out. My theory is that Imbo takes Din while Grogu was hanging out with his Anzellan buds. I don't know that Imbo ever gets Din. With the Hutt twins get Din. And you see here, Imbo is on the chase. He's catching him. But he hasn't caught him yet. So I think what we're seeing is the progression. Imbo goes to Navarro. They get away. He follows them to now Hutta or Nar Shaddaa. And then this happens. He gets captured. I'm sure you guys have already seen. This is Weathers and Apollo here, right? Yeah, Imbo survived a bigger. Where is it? Explosion in the Clone Wars. Yeah, I don't think he's going to die. Right? Thought you were going to say you were going to therapy. Imbo's a Filoni favorite. He'll get the beeping chest treatment like Cad Bane at worst. I'll tell you what, when we see Cad Bane back alive, I cannot wait. I'm going to have to schedule a special live stream with my good friend. Yeah, we've got a bet, and I had to pay it off. And we're going to have another little live stream with Sheev the Wise. Yeah, because when we see that Cad Bane is indeed alive, he's got some splaining to do. Anyway, yeah. So there's the nod to Carl Weathers. We see those characters get loose. Hey, look here, a Rhodian kiddo, right? Yeah, Cad Bane is 1,000,000% alive. Vader's lair is wrong again. Yeah, it's true. He's wrong. Sheev, dude, you're coming on a live stream. And I don't know what where you're going to be, what you're going to be up to, but you're coming on. You're not hiding from me. If I have to come out there and find you, I'll do it. I'll come find you, and I'm going to put you on a live stream. You're going to have to answer for yourself. Yeah, I think Anzellans are bringing Grogu by himself to one place or another. My guess is from Navarro, now Hutta, Nar Shaddaa. I think that they're headed towards their spaceship. We see this Anzellan spaceship in the Lego releases, and they're getting him to the spaceship to get him here. So I think that little scene, remnant of Pasana, is on Navarro as they're chasing him down, and Grogu nose dives that thing, sends the troopers flying, and they get away. I think that's how that's going to go. Cad Bane and Imbo have come, the one with the blinking. Yeah, if they bring Bane back before Ben. I'm gonna. Oh, I hope they do. What's been 4 or 5 years? He's been quote unquote dead. Yeah, yeah. Interest is growing on your debt. That's what's happening, Steve. You're gonna have a debt to pay, and it's growing interest. That's all. Yeah. Hey. Take Matt. All right. So we see the Anzellan in the pram. A lot of people are saying it's Grogu's pram. No, they just steal it. Right. This belongs to the Anzellans, Anzellan mama and Anzellan baby, and the critters are getting loose from the arena. I think this is beginning part of the second act. That they get loose, and the Anzellan kiddo here, mama says, "Nope, you're coming with me. We'll leave the pram." And yep, there's our chessboard characters getting loose from the arena. He goes, "Nope, we're out." Notice here, this is calmness. Notice back when the pram is getting taken. Let's just back up to here. Right? When we turn around, see people running. There are people. They're running in the streets. Mom's grabbing baby. Right? All of this. You go forward a couple of frames. When Grogu sees the pram, no, there's nobody. They're all gone. Right? There's the pram just sitting there, and Grogu turns around, and then and notice here, no Mudhorn shield. No Mudhorn shield. Pay attention to that. I think the no Mudhorn shields are towards the beginning. He starts to put it on when they have the attack on Navarro. That's in the second part of the second act. Grogu puts that Mudhorn shield on, and that's when they get separated. And you see Grogu with that Mudhorn shield through the rest of the movie. Before the Mudhorn shield, I think it's first half of the movie. So I think this is earlier, right? I think this is the earlier in the movie. He says, "What you waiting for? Hop a ride. Let's go." He hops in, and away they go. Whee! Flop, and off they go. And then they fly off. Right? Zing zing. You guys are great. You guys are great. I'm watching the chat. There he goes. He goes flying off. Still no people around, right? This is Narshada, or I mean Nalhada. And off they go. I think this is early. This is early. This is before the Empire has gotten word out, and before they hire Imbo, and before the Hutt twins are like, "We got to take this guy." Here he's messing with their economy again. He breaks up the fighting ring, all right? And off they go. Din's messing with their economy. He's messing with their source of income, and that's when the Empire gets mad and puts out the bounty on his head. And then the rest of it becomes him running from the people who are trying to catch him while still catching stuff, right? So still messing with stuff, still putting a dent in their plans and accomplishing the mission that he gets from Sigourney when he comes back at the end and gets the Razor Crest. Notice again, Grogu, no shield. Notice the house in the background is complete. I think this is maybe one of the opening shots. This is early. This is very, very early. Act 1. This is from Act 1. So the very last shot you get here is from Act 1. The very beginning of the movie. Let's save the snacks until after lunch, after dinner. And they're just hanging out at the homestead. Everything's good. And he's like, nom, I need a snack before dinner. And so I think it's where we open. I think it's where we open the movie, and where you see him back here on the planet. Let's get back here at the very beginning. When you see him talking to Sigourney, where was it? Right here, right? He's talking to Sigourney. This shield into the movie. This is the end. No Mudhorn beginning. Mudhorn shield end. So there you go. That's my breakdown of the trailer. That's what I've got to share. I've given you all this a good bit of the spoilers that I know, and I've given you a lot of tea. I've broke it down, shared some of the latest leaks that I've gotten, even though they're unconfirmed. They may have some validity based on the content of the trailer. Matt Risman doesn't even know what he's talking about. Right? You guys see Amanda's Fondy post recently? No, I didn't see it. Who knows? Maybe Ezra and Thrawn will be in it. They're not in it, Chief. Just like Cad Bane's not dead. They're not in it. I was assured, and I asked lots of questions. I don't think we're visiting Tatooine at all. I know Pelimoto's not in it. I know that we don't get what's his name? He leads with respect. I remember his name right now. Anyway, we're not going Boba Fett. Boba Fett. We're not going to Tatooine. I don't think we go to Tatooine whatsoever. I think this happens primarily those 4 planets that we saw. The snow planet, which is probably Hoth. Probably, maybe not. Could be Hoth. We're going to get Navarro, the attack on Navarro, and then we get Nalhutta and Shaddaa, right? Nar Shaddaa. I think those are the primary places for this movie. It ends happy story, right? It's a happy ending. Grogu and Din Djarin have their brand new new to them, Razor Crest. They now own it. They get the deed, so to speak, and then it belongs to them. And then we see that Stinky, right, Rada, joins the New Republic. That's the end of the movie. That's how it ends. I know you said in the chat, now you're saying it could still be alive. I've been saying the whole time. Yeah, look, I've never wavered. I have never wavered. I've said it on streams for years. Yeah, look, to be fair, Chief did say, even when he won the bet, he won the bet, and I paid off. I put Vader's Lair back behind me for an entire week on my live stream, on my show. I paid off my debt. But even then, Chief said, I'm probably going to lose this bet in the end. That was all the way when he won the bet, right? On Instagram, you're talking about Amon. The bet was Bubba would kill Cad Bane in a rematch. Yeah, that was the bet. And then, we couldn't prove he wasn't dead. So I went ahead and took the loss. I took the L. And even then, Steve said, I'm probably wrong, but I'll take the win. Right? So he's been hedging. Look, Sheev's been hedging since the beginning, right? Felt great. Yeah, I've never felt great about it, right? Nar Shaddaa bit comes, it's I think it's second act, or late first act, second act. I think Snow Planet, first act. Nar Shaddaa, Navarro, second act. Attack on Navarro, second act. And then Nar Shaddaa, Nalhutta, third act. And we get a revisit of Nar Shaddaa and Nalhutta in the third. I think we get some Nar Shaddaa and Nalhutta in the second act when he goes to the arena and he lets everybody loose. And that's a job he's on with Grogu. And that's when the Empire's like, okay, we've had enough. He ruined our plans on the Snow Planet. He ruined our plans here with the fighting ring. This guy is a problem. We got to take him out. Second half of the third act, we get Imbo come in. We go to the third act where They go back to Nar Shaddaa, now Hutta, and he gets captured. We have a big fight there. They get loose from there and back to they go back to the base, a Delphi base. They go back to a Delphi base, get paid, get the Razor Crest. Everybody goes home. That's the movie. There you go. I think I figured it out. I think that's the whole thing. Way before I get out of bed. Not hard to find a receipt. You still look. I still took the L and gave you the win. So when he shows up alive, you're going to take an L. I don't care how much you're taking the L sheet. That's it. No mythosaur either. That's true. Yeah. Good tea shared. Only here. Yeah. I think it's exclusive to here. I'm sharing it with you guys and giving you all the tea. Of course, if you hung out on my weekly chats on Zoom for our supporters meeting, you've known this for the better part of a year, 9 months at least. You've known a lot of this information. I am now stringing it together and giving you the whole bit. If we get Thrawn, it will only be in the mention or post credit. You're right, KG. There's possibility there could be a post credit scene. I don't know anything about post credit scenes. I know how the movie ends. There very well could be a post credit scene where we see Thrawn reunite with the Shadow Council and says, "All right, boys, let's go." I don't know. Could be something like that. I don't know. But Boba Fett, I have spoken. And just like that, the show was supposed to be about Mandarin bounty hunter, and all of a sudden Baby Yoda shows up. My spoiler appetite has been well satisfied this stream. Thanks, Jim. Thanks so much, Mimbo Jimbo. Mine too. Tatooine. Bindu confirmed. I would love to see the Bindu in live action. Navarro, Adelphi, Nar Shaddaa, Nal Hutta, Snow Planet. That's 5. Yeah, you're right, Dale. You got it. Show enough. Good to see you. Are they going to tie this in with any of the series? Boba, Ahsoka, so on. Only loosely. We know that it ties into the Book of Boba Fett because we get the Hutt twins. We know it ties into Mandalorian, even season 3, with the setup there on the homestead base on Navarro and the situation there. And we know that there's a potential. What they're doing here is they're setting up Mandalorian and Grogu, establishing them back into active duty, so to speak, to set up the post-Ahsoka season 2 confrontation. I'm convinced that after Ahsoka season 2, we'll have set up really, really well Dave's like Avengers type movie, where we will then see Boba Fett, Din, Bo-Katan, the Night Owls, the Mandalorians. We'll see Luke Skywalker come back. That movie is supposed to feature the big 3, right? Luke, Han, and Leia. From what I understand of the outline of how that movie's coming along, Leia is supposed to be featured in it. So yeah, all of this is going to tie into that, and it's kind of setting up. I don't want to feel like a winner. He did bet that he was dead, and Santa bet that he was alive. So he tentatively won, even though he really lost because Cat is alive. Yes, you've got it, Matt. That's exactly it. That's exactly how it is. Not big ones, but mentioning Thrawn and preventing another war are tie-ins. Yeah, it's possible. Very possible. I'm curious how Rada will serve the New Republic. Ain't no way he's getting an X-Wing cockpit. No, but he can give people the beat down. Plus, he's an heir to Jabba's, wealth and fortune. We know Boba Fett right now is occupying Jabba's throne room. It's now where he leads with respect on Tatooine. We know that Boba Fett is there. So Rada is still tied in very closely with the Hutt family. I'm not sure of the outcome of the Hutt twins. I suspect that they win, and that now we're going to have like a bit of a divide in the Hutt empire, whatever you want to call them, right? In that Hutt alliance, right? Thanks for the tea. You're welcome, Nick. You're very welcome. We bet Boba kills Cad Bane in a rematch. And as far as we know, he did. So now look, now you're doubling down on winning. Chief, you got to pick a side. You got to pick a side, right? The blinking light could mean anything. Left the stove on, anything. That's his pacemaker. Yeah, yeah. I think he's alive. Look, I think I'm giving you like a really good breakdown of the movie. I've shared some things that I've not heard shared anywhere else. And I know absolutely the end of the movie and it ties into the trailer. I've shown you how the trailer ties into the movie as a whole. Yeah. I see you, Sheev. I see you. On other news, we have seen our friend Bespin Bulletin is back, baby. He is back and he's posting regularly. Just as a Newsweek rundown, we're going to quickly peruse Bespin Bulletin's articles from this week, and then we'll wrap it up. So, February 17th. So earlier in the week, he says the Grogu trailer was released, confirms our leaks. Specifically, Bespin did leak a long time ago that Imbo was in the movie. And indeed, he is. And Bespin called it. And Bespin, of course, is a source that I trust implicitly, right? All new Mandalorian Grogu screenshots from the trailer. You take a look here. He's got a whole series of screenshots that he took. We could have just gone through the screenshots and talked about the movie, but there you go. If you want to grab some stills to put in anything, you can grab them right here from Bespin. And then there was a few other stories that came up, and some of them tie into some other information. Martin Scorsese, we talked about his role in the movies of voicing the character. Star Wars Galactic Racer post-launch plans disappoint fans. So the post-launch plans here says whilst almost all the new tales have fans desperate to get into a pod racer, there have been some criticism lobbied on one particular point: post-launch content. One, Hunters, which is now shut down, multiplayer game in nearly 60, blah blah blah. Before that, Squadrons, blah blah blah. It's fantastic to see Galactic Racer feature mini multiplayer with no new content. Can only last so long. Take what they come up with. When I was asked if there's a season pass, he said no. Views on the season passes of free-to-play games, the full-price game with single-player campaign, arcade modes, and multiplayer. That said, it involves opportunities to tap into more Star Wars or new Star Wars over time. However, when it comes to outlining post-launch, it's not going to have a season pass style level of content. So there's your disappointment. People who want a season pass are not getting it, right? The next story says Star Wars Galactic Racer gameplay details. That's all here. We've seen some of that Quadraneros there, right? It ends back on Tatooine in the pod racer arena. Here's another story. It's kind of gone under the radar just a bit. And Bespin has it here. I'm very happy that he posted this. We see Natasha Klein is developing Star Wars animation projects at Lucasfilm. I've been sitting on a story that I've known for a very long time regarding an animation project that has not been announced. I am not going to announce it here. I am waiting for Bespin or my friend Jason Ward to break the story. But let me tell you, there's a pretty big seismic animation story coming. Huge. It's as huge as you can imagine. Bigger than you can imagine. An animation project is coming. I'm super stoked for it. In fact, I know there's two. One of them, you're not ready. You can't handle the truth. You don't know. It's huge. That it's the one that I'm sitting on is that big. The other one is an animated series. I don't have details on. There's another animated series beyond Mall Shadow Lord, and I just don't know what it is. I have hopes that it's Luke Skywalker and the Bindu. I have hopes that it's Luke Skywalker. I just don't know. Yeah, I'm worried about the other one, right? So here's the other one. The Hunt for Ben Solo. If you know me, you know I don't want this movie. I don't want it. I don't need it. I don't like the concept of it. I think that any Hunt for Ben Solo is one to put him to trial and put him in prison for the rest of his life or put him to death. That the end. I don't think that Ben Solo can have a redemption arc that puts him in any way back in a hero point of view. I'm opposed to it. That's me. You guys can disagree with me. You can hate me for that. That's just my opinion. I know lots of you disagree with me, and most of you want to see this movie. Not me. I'm perfectly happy with them saying no because he needs to stay dead. That's my opinion. But there you go. A lot of people want it. There's a chance it could get back because now that we have a change at Disney, as the head leadership of Disney is concerned, it might get another pass. I hope not. We'll see. Galactic Racer. PC system requirements are released. We have more Galactic Racer information. Lots of Galactic Racer stuff. And then from today, just today, Bespin Bulletin released Jedi Survivor finally gets a fix nearly 3 years later. For those of you who played Jedi Survivor and you're familiar, it says a fix has been discovered for one issue that's caused that's part of the Survivor's unacceptable performance problem. 3 years from release, even though it's not stopped getting updates, it's considered one of the best Star Wars games of all time. The game's technical issues are still present when you play the game, even though it was patched around 10 times. They keep fixing it, but not fixed. This has caused the game to be one of the lowest rated games on Steam, and it's got a badge of do not play for many people. May go on to harm Jedi 3's initial launch as the game is a hand of masses for real reviews. One of the most prominent issues in the second game can now be improved for some people. The problem? Every time you play on the PC, you suffer at the hands of improper camera and character animation. Some people's eyes notice it more than others. The issue's there for everyone. If you're looking at 60 frames per second, right? It's a has puzzle. So it's a visual thing. It's not a gameplay thing necessarily, but the frame rate and flickering and things annoys a good number of people. So they're still working at fixing that. Maybe that is fixed. So there you go. That's the story, the news of the week. Get caught up here with the rest of the chat. Hopefully Natasha gets those 2 Star Wars animated things on the move. Yeah, wrong button to this one. There you go. Oh, there's the statement. Yeah, let's hope she gets them on the move. I would love to see some announcements. I'm still dying to see Dave and perhaps Linwin go on tour where they do a press junket and talk about the new leadership at Lucasfilm and take interviews from the press, maybe meet with some fans, stuff like that. I know Dale is absolutely on board for the Hunt for Ben Solo. We argue about it, friendly kind of disagreement all the time. Dale is convinced it needs to happen. KG, although I'd be thoroughly invested in Luke's Jedi Academy animated series, Me too. That's what I want more than anything. Yeah, Seth, good to see you. Absolutely. Yes, he could. The story I have in mind is a rumor that he's alive. He and Tava Ren have to run with the Knights of Ren until they show they're making changes. And then they put him in jail for the rest of his life, and he never sees the light of day. That's how good. Lucasfilm needs to hire Santa for the head of PR. I wish Dustin staying on target host. Look, I love this guy. I was coming home from Bible study Wednesday night, and guess who was live? Stay on target. I love their show. I love to disagree with them, but mostly just love their content. They're great. They're really good. So if you're not subscribed to Stay on Target, look them up. Check them out. Watch a little of their content. See if it's right for you, and maybe consider subscribing and following them. That would be great. Any other news, you guys? Anything you want to talk about? We're gonna kind of wrap it up here. Call it a week. Our youngest daughter gets married Sunday. 2 days. 2 days from now. In fact, we're under 2 days, under 48 hours from now. She's getting married, and then it's chaos this weekend until that happens. So we're very excited, and lots of things happening. Lots of things. Me and Scott D. Burns will show you a good story for Star Wars. Somehow Ben Solo returns. Thank you for shout out, Santa. Yeah, well, thank you. I appreciate what you guys are doing. Matt says Dustin's my favorite. Although this last week they didn't have fact checker with them, so none of their facts could be checked. So there you go. There you go. Hey, been great hanging out with you all. Thanks for putting up with me. Thanks for hanging out with me. I've had a good time hanging out with you. I've had a good time talking about Star Wars. What a great way to end the week, right? What a great way to end the week. I'm excited for this movie. Let's find out where the poll is. I asked a poll question. Let's see where the responses are here. Let's end this poll. After the movie, will Din Djarin take his helmet off? Will 56% of you say no? Will he wear his helmet all the time? 56% of you say no. He'll be like Bo-Katan and the Night Owls. They wear their helmet when they need it. 56% of you say that. 44% say, yeah, he's going to go back to the way, wearing the helmet. This is the way. We'll see. Jim says, have you been in touch with the Chosen pun lately? I have not. I did get a nice message from Mike Porter when he went on a little hiatus himself. He'd been doing dad jokes of the day for years, and he said he just needed to take a break. So we're giving him some time. Mike Porter's hanging out there. He's still there. He posts jokes from time to time, but we no longer get our Mike Porter dad joke of the day or our Star Wars dad joke of the week, at least for now, while Mike's on hiatus. So, guys, I hope you have a wonderful, what's the channel name? The channel name is Stay on Target, from A New Hope. Stay on target. But you know what they do very poorly? They're staying on target. They don't. They chase rabbits down all the time. Squirrel. They chase squirrels. They're great. It's just so entertaining. They see a squirrel, they'll chase it. Yeah, absolutely. And then they didn't have fact checker with them, so we had no facts checked, and they did not do a very good job of staying on target. They kept getting off target, but it's a great name for a Star Wars channel, and I think they do a great job. I enjoy it. Have a great day. Have a fantastic weekend. I hope you guys just have the best of weekends. I can't wait to talk to you next time about Star Wars. As we go, thank you, Matt, for sharing that. There's the link to Stay on Target. Dale also shared it. Thanks for sharing the link. Guys, go over there, check them out. Consider subscribing. And if you would, I would really appreciate it if you do that here. If you're catching this after the fact, we lost a couple of subscribers this last week. Consider subscribing, following the channel. It sure would mean a lot to me. I appreciate it. Until next time, my friends, I hope that you have a wonderful day. And Merry Christmas. And may the Force be with you always. Bye-bye now.